Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be discussing the season finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that's episode 6. Spoiler warning before we start, of course. If you didn't know already, there was an end credit scene as well. So just in case you missed that, now you know, so you can go back and watch it if you missed it. Uh, so yeah, let's jump straight into it and begin. So the episode basically picks up where the last one ended with the attack on the GRC headquarters. um, so we start off and we see a picture of Carly, or at least a scene with Carly and the Flag Smashers coming in. But what is intercut with this scene now is we get a glimpse of a pilot and then what seems to be an officer as well. So this hints now at more people being for this cause, because now we see the reach isn't just this little mini band that is there, that they have, or at least that their reach is far. Because we saw in the previous episode that someone in the meeting itself had joined their cause then, or was part of their cause. So we cut back into the room now where the meeting was being held, and we see red lights going on and all of that. And we get what seems to be a kind of Iron Man-esque scene, that we've seen before in Iron Man movies, of course, where Tony is flying through the sky in the night. So we get a scene like that here with Falcon, and we see him flying to the city. And while he's flying, we see Bucky heading towards the headquarters, and he's talking to Sam, and he's saying that he arrived, and he walks through the police blockade. They allow him through because, of course, they know he's an Avenger. And someone walks up to him, looking all creepy, with a hood, not really a hood, but with a beanie on, and begin to talking to him, and we see that it's Sharon with one of these face changing devices. It looks like a second layer of skin that she rips off, but I believe we've seen this in one of the movies before as well. I can't put it out there just yet because I can't remember which exact movie, but I know we've seen this in some movie before. Um, and we get a shot of them looking up and seeing Sam flying towards the GRC headquarters. And again, as I said, we know their reach is far with the Flag Smashers, because here we see said member of the Flag Smashers who's part of this in his suit with his mask on, and he rolls what seems to be a smoke bomb, but not really a smoke bomb. It looks very advanced for a smoke bomb with some legs. Um, and smokes out the room, and of course, the aim is to get everyone out of the room. Um, that's the Flag Smashers' aims at least, and we'll see why in a bit. But we then get a small scene with Sam flying and crashing through the window, and we get a look at his brand new suit now. It looks amazing. This is actually very comic accurate, so I'll throw a comic picture up with his comic book suit as well to compare. But very comic accurate. Maybe one or two minor detail changes, or not detail changes, but details that fit better here or look better here. But for everything else, it's perfect, a perfect match to the comics, so it was well done. The only person missing a Captain America suit from the comics now is Bucky. We need a Bucky in a Captain America suit. We need that. Like in the comics, we need that. But we get Sam bursting through the window, and he throws his shield at one of the guys. So when he throws it, it hits him in his arm here, and I would assume breaks his arm, because we see the guy holding his arm and he's on the ground. And Sam takes off his mask, and one of the GRC members goes up to Sam and asks him who he is, and Sam says he's Captain America. So now we get more confirmation then that Sam is finally taking this mantle of Captain America. Um, he's not just going to say he's not ready, he's actually owning up to it and accepting this mantle, because he says it here, I am Captain America. Um, and this leads to Bartok now. Is it Bartok or Batroc? I feel like it's Bartok. But he takes off his mask and attacks Sam, and we get a little scuffle between them. Um, and basically this leads to the GRC people trying to escape down the stairs. We saw this scene in the trailer as well, when they're going down the spiral stairs, and that is actually what the Flag Smashers want. They didn't want. They was trying to get them to leave the building. Because Sam told the man to be careful, I think, about the plan. Because he told them that was the plan. And we get a glimpse of Sharon here too. and Sharon is going into the building. We see Bucky entering the building as well. And while he's entering, we see a lady on the phone, and she walks up to him and gives him the phone. So he looks at the phone, and we see the app that they use, that they are using. Then, I don't know the name of the app, but it's the Flag Smashers app that they were using to signal the people as well. So again, we see her reaches wide, or the Flag Smashers reaches wide, because I mean, an ex agent or someone from the GRC is with them. And this leads to Bucky and Carly speaking, and this is basically a stall tactic by the Flag Smashers, because we see they file everyone into these armored police vehicles, and the same guard that we saw earlier, proceeds to he proceeds to put this clamp, I would say, of some sort, on the back of the doors to keep it shut. And he does that with the two trucks. Here's a better look at the clamp. It looks circular and kind of like a spider kind of shape. But yeah. We then cut back to a little bit of Sam and Bartok fighting, because we're back and forth between that and what's going on. And we see more of Carly stalling. And then Bucky realizes what was going on. So he steals a motorbike, and he drives off after them. And we see Sharon actually walks up to the same officer who was helping the persons who was helping the flag smashers. She walks up to the officer who was helping the flag smashers, and walks into him accidentally, and plants something on him. And we see the van then crashes, and we see his skin is melting. And she says that it was mercury vapor and something else. So we know Sharon is kinda not afraid to kill. Um, we then get Bucky giving his chase after these guys on his bike. Um, and while doing so, they mention that a helicopter is leaving, and we see Sharon walks outside. And that is when she mentions the helicopter. And Sam calls Bucky and tells him about the helicopter, and Bucky is like, I don't do flying. Flying is your thing, man. So basically, Sam does the Captain America shield stamp move when he's fighting Bartok and knocks him back. He then uses his wings, the booster on his wings, to fly into him with the shield and tackle him. And Sam flies off to deal with the helicopter. We then get a next glimpse of the Flag Smashers. The entire group that's with Kali, and they're watching this playing out. And we see Sam trying to get into the helicopter and save the people. However, the helicopter kind of slightly grazes the next one and causes it to spiral downward. So Sam sends Red Wing, because he got Red Wing back, to save the guy. Um, and Sam then saves the other person, because it's two pilots. So Sam saves one and Red Wing saves one. And they land in the middle of the highway, and this is where we get a glimpse of just how strong the new vibranium wings are. Because Sam lands on the ground and he puts the shield up over the wings, of course, and the helicopter crashes into it and bounces off. Physics. But yeah, one thing I do wish though is that we actually had like a real Red Wing, like in the comics, like an actual Falcon or bird that is. That would have been cool. And again, I guess they didn't want animal cruelty, and then Red Wing here could get destroyed, and it wouldn't be as graphic, I guess. But yeah, we then cut to our boy John Walker coming in, and he calls out Carly by her last name. So he walks in, like Morgenthau, and we see Bucky charges into on his bike and dives at one of the other flag smashers, and they proceed to fight. Um, so we have a little back and forth between them. They set one of the vans or the vehicles on fire. So Bucky stops fighting, kinda, and is trying to break the van open, or the back of this armored vehicle open, to save the people. And here's where John squares up with like four of them, and he starts throwing hands. I mean, they jump him. Let's be honest, he got his ass handed to him 4-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. It reminds me of that JoJo's meme. Anybody who watches anime should catch this JoJo meme. If I find it, I'll throw it up. But basically, the JoJo's meme where they stamp it on the guy. So they do that to John. But we also get something pretty cool, because Bucky goes in for the save, and Carly breaks out what seems to be one of those things that you put your coins into, a parking meter, right? Carly breaks off a parking meter and starts swinging it around, and they're fighting, and they knock Bucky off of a ledge, and he falls. He begins to fall, but he gets his superhero landing because he lands and poses in his superhero landing. So that's pretty cool. And we also get Sam now flying after the main helicopter. And in doing so, the helicopter is kind of taking him down, shooting at him. He gets sent into a ship, and then he goes underwater and he comes back up. Um, but it seems his suit is actually more techy now because he sends a text message to one of the ladies in there, and he tells her to put in her earbuds, and he calls her. And he does this and lets her know that he has a plan and what the plan is. And this plan is he used Red Wing beforehand to scan for anybody with pilot training. So he's going to have the one pilot the plane when he knocks the guy out. So again, a more advanced suit than what he originally had. So he proceeds to do this. He knocks the guy out. The lady takes control, and basically he saves the helicopter and he saves the GRC members in that. So there's like two set of GRC people saved. The one Bucky saved and now Sam. And then we cut back to John basically going one on one with Carly, and she says she's sorry that she killed Hoskins. She didn't mean to kill them all basically, and his life basically she says she didn't want to kill anybody who didn't matter. Kinda throwing a little shade at him. That pisses John off, so he goes after, and they kind of 1v1. Um, but they pull a sneaky on him, and basically they try to drive the armored car off of the same place where Bucky fell, which seems to be a building structure, but it's still a ledge. Um, and in doing so, this leads to what I think is a turning point for John. He's still off the deep end, kinda, but it brings him back and shows us more of a human, his good side then, because he has to make the decision now if to go after the flag smashers and pursue them or be an actual hero and save these people, and he chooses to save them because we see he throws the Captain America shield to the floor and it's mangled. Um, in my opinion, this is a metaphor for him trying to get rid of this persona and be himself again. And he goes and he grabs the van and he's trying to pull it up because, of course, he's a super soldier. And while pulling it up, the flag smashers are trash. They jump him and basically make the van start to go forward more or break the ledge more. So John falls to the ground with flag smashers. And when the van is about to fall, we see Cap's shield. And then we see Falcon is holding it up with his wings and he's pushing it up. And he places the two red wings on the side and helps go up. So this reminds me of Spider-Man when the boat got ripped in half. Remember, Tony sent out the things from his suit, and they clipped onto the boat and had thrusters on it and tried to keep the boat together while he welded it. So it's something like that. Also, him holding up the bus kind of made me remember Shazam when the bus fell off the highway and he caught it. Yeah, we get Bucky saving John as well, or picking him up. And we see Sam basically saved everyone. Everyone's there with their phones recording. A guy calls him the Black Falcon again. Um, but he uses Red Wing because it has a laser and cuts the little clamp off from the door and lets everyone out. So the three groups of GRC people are saved now. So they're in the clear for the most part. But Kali comes in with a shady attack from behind and she throws weapon at Bucky and he catches it. And Sam lands on the ground and it's now 3 on, I think the GRC is like, not the GRC Flash Smash, there's like 4 of them left, so it's like 3 on 4. But Bartok comes in and he sprays, or not sprays, but he fires a grenade launcher at them with smoke bombs. So basically he gives them chance to run away. Also, Carly thinks Sam is on some bullshit for finally picking up the shield, but yeah. We get a glimpse of Sharon looking at Bartok as well, and we see more of Sam's new features with his suit, where we see his heads up display, I guess, from his goggles, and he can see them running through the smoke, and he can see the footprints and whatever. And basically, they chase them into a building and they split up. So Bucky and John go after the bigger group, which is like three of them, and then Sam goes after Carly. Um, of course, when they do this, this leads to the whole revelation of who Sharon actually is, because Carly runs into her, and they begin to have a back and forth. And essentially, what comes out of this is that Carly was working with Sharon, and then she left her, but she left her after she got the super soldier serum. Also, she reveals that Sharon is the power broker. So all the theorists out there who was calling it, you were right. Sharon is the power broker. We get confirmation on that. So yeah, we get that. And leads to a Mexican standoff, gun on gun. Bata comes in next, and he's trying to blackmail Sharon into paying him more money. But Sam comes in too. Bartok gets taken out, and then we see Kali and Sam kind of go at it. Sam is trying to talk her down, but Kali is raging. She's trying to tell him to fight, 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 but he doesn't want to fight. Um, then we cut away for a bit, and we see a text message on her phone, or the app at least that the Flag Smashers use, and we see the four of them who ran away. They see a message saying, "Meet us here, northeastern corner," and when they bend the corner, it's Bucky and John using the app. I basically tells them this is a really cool app. So he checkmate them with their own app. So that was very smart thinking. Police surround them, of course. And John says, mercy bears more fruit than justice, I believe. A Lincoln quote. So we get that he seems to not have forgiven, but he seems to be back in his right state of mind. And he is more on the hero side. I mean, he killed somebody, but I still think his character development was pretty good throughout this whole thing. So I give it a plus on that. Good development. Um, and that's basically the end of the Flag Smashers group there. And they walk off. Then we cut back to Sam and Kali, and basically what happens is Sharon shoots Kali because Kali was about to shoot Sam. So Sharon shoots her like four times, I believe, and that basically kills her. Um, I think it was a bit underwhelming because I guess a lot of us wanted to see fighting, like actual fighting. So yeah, yes, Falcon proved himself in the whole, or the new Captain America that has proved himself as being morally the good person, but we didn't get to see him try any hands, and I think a lot of us wanted to see more of that. But yeah, this then leads to Sam kind of holding her, and we get this really cool shot of him coming down from the sky holding her, kind of looking like an angel holding her, and he gives her over to the medics, but she's dead, of course. And this leads to Sam getting into a big discussion with the GRC and telling them basically what they're doing is wrong, and now they feel the pressure like what the normal human being or the normal man feels on a daily basis, and what they're doing is wrong. So he reasons with them, he talks sense into them, and then he leaves. Um, and we see a Flag Smasher mask on the ground, of course. So symbolizing, I guess, the end of the Flag Smashers. Sam and John have a little moment when he passes them. They just give each other the little bro nod, like, yeah. So yeah, um, and we get Bucky and Sam basically walking off. They meet Sharon, and it kind of ends well. It that part basically the whole Sam, Bucky, Sharon saga is done there. We then cut to the GRC people now, or at least the police, and they're taking the Flag Smashers to the raft, as they said. And one of the officers again says the quote, or not the quote, but the phrase they use, which is "one world, one people." And the van drives off. But when the van drives off, now it explodes, killing them, and we see Zemo's butler. So we then cut to the raft and we see Zemo smiling in his prison cell. So Zemo won. Zemo won. Again. He still won. Um but yeah, we then cut to what I would see was the next day or a few days later, and we see Val, I'll call her Val, or Madam Hydra, as you all know. She's here and she's talking to John's wife and John, and basically she gives him a suit, And when he comes out, it's his comic accurate suit as well from the comics. So I'll drop a picture as that as well. And she calls him by his name too from the comic. She says maybe we don't need a Captain America, or we already have a Captain America, something like that. But she says what we need now is a U.S. agent. That's his name. But this basically leads to him getting his comic book costume and name. Also, it still seems like he's a good person because he's all cheery and happy. So I'm happy for that. And he got reinstated basically. So I'm happy for that. I enjoyed his character development. So I hope we get more of that when he shows up again. We then cut to Bucky going to meet Japanese old man. I forgot his name. Oh, but basically Bucky is doing what Sam said. He's making amends. He's apologizing. He goes and he tells the old man the whole story of what went on. We then cut to his therapist, and we see he left her a gift, which is the book, and he thanks her for helping him, and he says he finished the book. So I'm guessing this is again more time in the future, but completed his book and he's finished apologizing or reaching out to everyone he's wronged and trying to make up for it, like Sam said. And we get a cool little scene. We get Sam and Isaiah Bradley talking basically. He's proud of Sam, but he doesn't want to say he's proud of Sam. But they basically talk about what went on and Sam taking up the mantle of Captain America. And you get a quick little shot with Eli asking him where they're going because Sam tells them he's going carrying them to see something. And they go to the Captain America Memorial or Museum. Um, and basically Sam had a little thing erected. That's it, erected. Um, a little golden statue erected of Isaiah Bradley and his story in the museum. So that's pretty good. Isaiah hugs him and they begin to cry, or Sam, not Sam, but Isaiah begins to cry tears of joy. So that was a good ending for that as well. Of course, we then cut to the future and we see Sam and Bucky back in Louisiana, partying it up with the people there, having fun. We get a nice little shot here with Sam and Bucky smiling. So I guess it's official to say they're best friends now. Um, and basically the episode ends, but not really, because then we get the end credit scene, which is basically Sharon's being reinstated as her original position or agent again. Her crimes or war crimes from Civil War have been dropped. And when she's leaving though, she calls someone and she says she's back and now she has inside information on weapons and all that stuff. So she's a double agent in a sense. So I'm interested to see where they take this with her character. And then the episode finally actually ends. Also, like I said, in comics, Isaiah's grandson becomes Patriot. Here's a quick picture of that again. As you can see, there's some of the young Avengers around him, and we already got a few of those. Because if you look carefully, you see Eli, which is Iron Patriot. You see Cassie Lang, which is supposed to be in she's Stature, who's supposed to be in Ant-Man 3, and we got Wiccan and Speed, who we see on the other side, who we already got. Um, and we know that they're planning some form of Young Avengers team up later on in the MCU. So more hints of MCU Young Avengers coming hopefully soon. Um, another thing now about this episode is during the episode when Sam actually saved the guy and Sam says he's Captain America. The guy said, "But isn't Captain America on the moon?" So that to me means that Cap isn't dead, as they were trying to allude to. And he's actually on the shield, not the shield, the sword spaceship or sword base, which is in space, so technically a spaceship. But he's in the sword base in space, maybe helping Nick Fury run things. Um, so maybe we'll get more of that later. I was hoping he would have cameoed somewhere here and would have got a look at that. But I know the Marvel snipers and Kevin Feige have been saying he's not coming back and all of that for the past however long. So they're probably keeping it low for a cameo later on. But yeah, um, so those were all the mini Easter eggs that we saw throughout this episode. This was the season finale. I find it was pretty short though. It should have been long like the last one, in my opinion. But yeah, we got that. Um, of course, if you're new here, feel free to hit sub. I review anime, I do challenges, I review manga, I review other movies, I review Marvel content in general and DC. I should have a Mortal Kombat movie review up sometime this weekend or maybe Monday or Tuesday, depending. Because I know it's officially dropped in some places today, so I don't want to spoil anyone on this. Um, Also, this video, if you're seeing it, might be a bit late because I know people have to work before they watch the episodes and all of that, so I dropped it a little later just to facilitate that so I don't spoil anything for anyone. Um, so yeah, feel free to hit the sub button if you end up or ended up here by mistake or by chance. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you do consider subbing. Like, comment if I missed anything, and I'll see you all in the next one. We have a 7 week wait till Loki. So let me know what you all would like, what content at least you all would like to see me do more of, or try, or look at, be it shows, movies, anything like that. So yeah, uh, thanks, and I'll see you all in the next one.